So yesterday was the start of CinemaCon, and starting off with the Sony panel that happened last night. So here's everything that was talked about. The first film that was talked about was a film called Breadwinner. It stars Nate Bargatze, sorry if I butchered that name, and Mady Moore, and it's a clip that shows of an incompetent dad, him, uh, take over parenting duties of his three daughters when the mom of the family travels abroad. This is meant to be like a family comedy movie. This is of all the announcements that came out last night, this is probably the one I was least interested in. But then Sony came out swinging with giving us actual footage, more footage, and an actual poster for Spider-Man: Brand New Day. And this poster is just incredible. And they also gave us a second poster that was of Spider-Man fighting the Hand. And they also showed footage of a little clip that we've kind of seen in the trailer where Peter is in Ned and MJ's apartment, and Ned is and in the clip it's Peter's talking to Ned, and Ned says that he believes that Spider-Man is either Flash Thompson or their teacher, Mr. Harrington. And now you understand that if Peter never accidentally revealed his identity, I don't think Ned would have ever figured out that Peter was Spider-Man. Then after that, we had Zach Krieger walk on stage to talk about his new Resident Evil movie, and he basically went on to talk about how he's been he's loved the games. He's played the games a shit ton throughout the years, throughout the decades, and as it says here, he says the film will be true to the games, and you don't need to play the games to understand the story. It's its own thing, but it will stay loyal to the story. I've never played any of the Resident Evil games, so I all I know about it is that it's a zombie game, that's a zombie video game survival franchise. So I'm intrigued to see what Zach Krieger could do with this film. I may or may not see it. I'm gonna need a trailer to make a real decision on it. Then after that, Taika Waititi came on to talk about his next movie. After all this time, it's been a while since he ever had a movie. Clara and the Sun. This is based on a book. It stars Jenna Ortega and Amy Adams, and it follows a robot bought by a family to help them heal physically and mentally in a dystopian future. From what I've heard, from what people were saying, it looks very visually beautiful. It looks like Taika is kind of coming back to his format of what he does well, and not like something like Thor: Love and Thunder, where it was just a comedic mess. So I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm gonna need to see a trailer to make a decision. Then the film The Nightingale, which is going to be based on the best-selling novel of the same name, what was talked about as it just started production. Dakota and Fanning delivered a video message as they are currently filming the movie, and it's basically an epic World War II story about two sisters, Dakota and Elle, playing their respective characters, in the extraordinary lengths they'll go to for freedom. I've heard of this. I've heard of this book, but I never read it, so I have no idea what to expect from this movie. So, if anything, I expect this movie to come out in 2027 at the earliest. So, I don't know. We'll see. Then we had a big one where Godzilla Minus One director Takashi Yamakaze spoke about his next film, Grand Gear, which is actually his first ever English language movie, and it's going to be produced by J.J. Abrams. And what we know, basically, the only thing we know about it was just based on early glimpse of the movie that was shown. It looks like there will be a scene where two massive robots are fighting in a city. So take that what you will. It comes out February 18th, 2028. I have no idea what to expect of this movie, but this man absolutely cooked with Godzilla Minus One. He's gonna cook with Godzilla Minus Zero, so which we are supposed to get a trailer today. So we'll just see how that goes. Then we had a very interesting one where Sony announced a brand new original movie. Well, not original, but a brand new movie called Bloodborne, which is based on a video game, but not just that. That Jacksepticeye, who is one of my favorite YouTubers. He was one of my favorite YouTubers growing up. He's still one of my favorite. He's one of the OGs that I watch from time to time now. That he is developing the movie, and this morning he released a statement talking about this movie, saying that it is his favorite, that Bloodborne is his favorite game, and he wants to do whatever it takes, and he will pay this game with so much respect, and he will do what he can to make this movie so good. And I'm gonna go on a very small tangent here, but I just love how YouTubers this year have been given the opportunity to make a name for themselves in the film industry. Markiplier when it came to Iron Lung, and that film did very good in the box office. Jacksepticeye with this movie, and the Backrooms, the main guy from the Backrooms thing, he is the director of the movie that's coming out in May. So I just think it's just so awesome that YouTubers are given this opportunity to really focus their love on video games that they love or content that they've loved creating. And it's just gonna be it just really warms my heart that seeing this, that something like this is happening. Then quickly shifting gears, for a quick moment, Sony talked about the Legend of Zelda movie, the live action movie that's coming out in 2027. Not much was spoken about aside from that it just wrapped filming, so I don't know when we're gonna expect any news about it. This image is still the only image that we've gotten, and I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what's gonna happen with this movie. I'm not really that big of a fan of Legend of Zelda. I know nothing about the lore. I've played literally 5 minutes of Breath of the Wild, so I'm just excited to see this movie's gonna be about. Then after that, on the roll with video games, Justin Lin came on stage to talk about his new movie Helldivers, which is also based on a video game. And he basically spoke about how this movie is very character driven and will be starring Jason Momoa, which of course, and it's a character driven action movie to enjoy on the big screen. He describes the Helldivers as a more than a video game. It's a phenomenon that balances satire with humanity, and he says the only person that he thought that could pull this off was Jason Momoa. This film is about 2 weeks away from pre-production, so it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes. It's releasing in November of 2027. Then Sony went on to talk about the Social Reckoning, which is going to be the sequel to the Social Network, and it'll be talking about like the middle years of Facebook, as like the corruption. There's a clip that was shown, and is the film is described as a thriller, and it basically showed a clip that was of Mikey Madison's character, Francis Han, and Jeremy Stroff as Mark Zuckerberg, and I don't know, this movie I may or may not see. I only saw the Social Network like a year ago. I saw it for a year ago for the first time, so I don't know. Well, I'm gonna need to see a trailer for this. Then Sony went out of their way to go back to their animation world, and talk about one of their new original movies coming out called Buds. And when reading the description of this, it gave me major B movie vibes from DreamWorks. Basically, it's a comedy that reveals there's a lot more going on in the plant world than we possibly imagined. The film follows a plant that breaks the most sacred rule of the planet world: never talk to humans. One day, our hero does the unthinkable to save his best friend. This radical act changes the plant world and opens our eyes on how our world is connected. And I don't know, it just gives off a lot of like B movie vibes, but hey, I love B movies, so maybe this might be a good movie. Sony's proven me wrong when it comes to their animated movies, okay? Because I thought Goat was gonna be a dumb movie. I absolutely love Goat now. It's such an awesome movie, so let's just see how this goes. And then once again, Sony came out swinging with giving us more looks at Spider-Man Beyond Spider-Verse, which is coming out next year. We have 4 new images of the movie: one with Miles and his dad, one of Aaron and Jeff, one of Spider-Punk, and one of Miguel tackling Miles. I want Miguel to get punched in the face so badly. Phil Lord, Chris Miller, Justin K. Thompson, and Bob Persichetti, sorry if I butchered that name, were at CinemaCon to talk about the movie. And they were basically talking about how this movie is the finale of the Spider-Verse trilogy, and it's also the final chapter of Miles' story. So this is going to be very interesting. If this film sticks to the landing, the Spider-Verse trilogy has the greatest opportunity to be on the Mount Rushmore of one of the greatest film trilogies of all time. So I really hope that this movie sticks to the land. It was also revealed about this movie that it is the first Spider-Verse movie to be made in 1:43:1 format, which is really, really interesting. So this film is going to be very visually stunning to look at screen-wise. And the basic description that we got of the footage is that it basically picks up directly where the second film ended, with Miles speaking to his Earth 42 counterpart, them having making fun of each other of how they pronounce their names, and then Miles breaking free. And it seems that like we are gonna like the first half of the movie will focus on Miles being on Earth 42. If Prowler Miles has a major role in this movie, I feel like it will just be for the first half of the movie. I don't know if he's gonna come with Miles to try to save his dad from Spot. Who knows? But this film, I am so excited for it to come out next year. I just need it now. And then finally, Sony wrapped up their presentation talking about the final Jumanji movie, Jumanji Open World, which is just, in my opinion, a sick title. The main synopsis of this movie is that it follows the virtual world colliding with the real world as the human characters meet the video game characters while they're in demo mode. So I feel like they'll be very restricted with what they can say, and I feel like it might be like they'll have a form of NPC mode. Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and Dwayne Johnson came on stage to talk about the movie, and Jack Black revealed that all 4 of these characters are going to be playing 3 different characters. So this is going to be really interesting. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the Sony presentation. Tonight is the Warner Brothers presentation, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel and are ready for the Warner Brothers panel. See you guys tonight.